Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. Last time, we started up looking at Mechanism. We made it a decent chunk of the way through the basic tree. By that, I mean we made it all the way to the end and made the chemical crystallizer, and made a couple other machines, started getting to lay of the land, and then realized that we're promptly going to have to immediately build a nuclear reactor and then go through like 4 other machines to get to antimatter, and that's what we need for the mecha suit and for antimatter pellets that are going to be what we need to actually beat the Chaos Dragon. So that's a thing. Anyways, we do have our little friend Robot here. Robot's just existing, being cute, saying trans pride, trans rights. So that's all a thing. Between episodes, I did a little bit of research into what we needed to do, got some materials ready, and basically just let the world run on its own for a few hours so that I could start building up some extra draconium. And now we are up to over 100 blocks of the stuff, which isn't going to go very far because I am actually going to end up using like 60 blocks of those for just one multi-block structure I want to build. But before we get into that, while I was letting the world run on its own, uh, these 3 are now tier 3 dragons, so I can go ahead and give them all Geoses. We can never hurt them again. And how do I make dragon armor again? Oh yes, also, I forgot that the dragons in this mod actually had a hunger stat, so none of them were actually eating and regenerating this whole time. So I have gone ahead and gotten this healing spells suck, because I'm going to have to actually get the healing sigil from Ars Nouveau instead. Heal, um, it's probably going to be faster to look in here. I'm 100% sure that this mod has some sort of healing sigil in it. Um, where's Ars Nouveau? And I'm going to assume Glyph of Harm, literally the exact opposite of that. Glyph of Freeze is a tier 2. Glyph of Heal, there it is. 4 glistening melons, a golden apple, and an abjuration essence. Do I still have any essences pre-made, or am I going to have to go ahead and make all of those again? Abjuration. Aha, I do have abjuration things. Cool. So, I always carry golden apples on me. Oh yeah, golden apple has resistance. That would be a way to do that for the Chaos Guardian fight, but it's only going to last for 1. 1 glistening melon. Okay, here are my melons. 3, 4, 5. I only need 4 of these. What am I doing? I can go like that. And just go ahead and do this. 4 glistening melons. Just go up and get to this real quick. This is going to be faster than... Oh, not recall. I want teleports. And I forgot I need to get a spell parchment. 1 second. I forgot how this mod works for a second. Spell parchments exist, but that's not what we're actually after. We need to... How do I do this again? All glyphs... Oh, wait, no, this is the right screen I'm looking for, isn't it? Heal. There's that. Not enough experience. I need to grab out this and do this. It's been too long since I did anything with Ars Nouveau. Like, it's actually been quite a while. Yeah, this was the last series where we actually did it. Plus, even then, it was a while beforehand. So one of these echoes like that. And apparently it was 6. Was it? Was it really 6? I could have sworn that said it was only 4. Unless, oh wait, no, nope, here they are. They just went into that backpack instead. Blah, words are hard. So if I just do that and that, this will get us a Glyph of Healing. This should, I'm just make a very basic, very, very basic ranged heal spell. Cool. And while we're at it, I need to remember how to do this and make 3 sets of dragon armor, because now that they're tier 3, I can actually do this. Like, I am fairly sure that they need to be tier 3 in order to wear this armor. So, there's that. Glyph of Heal. How do I do this again? I'm not using Horse, so get rid of Touch and replace it with Projectile. And Heal. projectile heal, and I guess we will... How do I do this whole modify thing? Modify that with amplify, like that, sure. So, heal 7. That is... How are you doing? Still not even maxed out, and that... So it's gonna take all of my mana to heal up each of these, but I can do it. And you get body armor. Interest. Weird that they stack like that. So, Astrid here. I also did not pay attention at all to the sex of our dragon friends. So the names don't really match. Anyways, I'm just going to heal up all of them. The rest of the armor is not too difficult to make. I just need to remember the exact layout of them. And just make the armor and let them heal up. Not that big of a deal. It's just going to take a few moments of waiting for mana to regen. Okay, there we go. Right now it's all diamond. I can upgrade this to netherite whenever I want to. I just need to go get a bunch of the netherite smithing templates. So for now they're stuck with diamond, and I sort of accidentally made duplicates because I made the wrong thing. So that's all good. Anyways, little side distraction, our dragons are a lot healthier now and a better positioning. Come on. There we go. I was thinking maybe I forgot to set up the keybinds or something and they got messed up. How do I go down on you again? Is it... Yeah, I don't remember my dragon keybinds. 1 second. I don't think I actually adjusted them on this mod pack. Okay, I found my keybind for going, like, descending on a dragon. I forgot to actually look for keybinds for, like, actual combat things like Dragon Strike and whatnot, or Dragon's Breath. But, yeah, I can now fly around on our dragons if we want. I just flew over here to test, like, test size comparisons. I'm definitely going to need to make this space bigger whenever we whenever they get to tier 5. But for now, I guess... why am I still in it? Come on, Draco, you can calm down now. We were just doing for a little test flight. You can fly. Come on. Do I have to double tap spacebar? It's a little bit strange. Anyways, cool. Dragons, they're now set up. Eventually, they're just going to keep growing. They have Geoses, so I won't accidentally hurt them. And they're good to just hang out here until I can finish fixing that place up for them. I'll probably wait until one of them's tier 5. Or I guess when all of them are tier 5, so they can help break out part of this mountain to make it big enough. Anyways, today, we are going to start properly working on getting a new nuclear reactor. And this new nuclear reactor is going to take quite a bit more work than that one. So, we have this one. It's just some casings. We have some nuclear fuel rods in there and emerald blocks to help deal with radiation. It's just running constantly, providing 200 KFE a tick. So, that's a big number. That's more than any of our other machines need. That is nothing. That is nothing compared to what we're going to need for part of this step. So, we're going to need something bigger. Anyways, let's head on over to mechanism reactor, shall we? So, starting, sulfur. We have a couple hundred of it. We're going to need more of it. Chemical oxidizer. These machines, they look pretty simple to make. I just need to make personal chest, chemical tanks. Dynamic tanks is just steel around buckets. So none of these are incredibly difficult to make. I just need to go get some like random dust and whatnot and put it all together to make the chemical set. And then said chemical set needs to be put, let's see, a rotary. I'm not even sure entirely which ones we need. So mechanical mechanism. This one. Yes, mechanism is that big. If you want your reactors in invincible armor, then you are in the right spot. First, you'll need a fission reactor, and that needs fissile fuel. To make fissile fuel, you'll need some sulfuric trioxide. Start by putting sulfur into a chemical oxidizer to make sulfur dioxide. Then make some oxygen by processing water through an electrolytic separator. Now we can tube that oxygen and sulfur dioxide into a chemical infuser to make our sulfur trioxide. So we're very specifically going to need the mechanism types for this, I believe. Unless the pipes mod that we've been using for everything else has a version for chemicals. Um, Fluid, universal item, gas pipe. Okay, they do have one. And in fact, you need to do some of the mechanism stuff for it too. So, yeah, we're just going to stick with these ones. I know how they work. They're a little bit easier to deal with than some other things we've tried. And I'm just going to need more of these things. So save the recipe there. Don't need that one saved anymore. Also don't need the Whirly Sprig. I moved that one, but forgot I needed to dispel it. So I went ahead and made a new one. Speaking of which, it hasn't grabbed any extra essence. It's just existing. So let's see. Sulfur, might as well grab it out of here just to complete that quest. It is the right sulfur, right? Okay, yes, sulfur acquired. Chemical oxidizer. Need to grab my osmium, which is in here. Basically, I have to run around a bunch of different chests, grab all of the different materials out of all the different things that are scattered everywhere. Save that recipe. Save that recipe. Save that recipe. Cool. So if I want to make this, I need this basic chemical thing. I just need to grab some redstone. Got it. I'm going to need iron for part of this too. So basic chemical tank. One. Got it. A dynamic tank. I need a bucket and 4 pieces of steel. I did not actually have the steel on me. I guess that's in a... I guess that is in here. Yes, it is. Buckets and steel. Easy enough. I'm going to need all of this later again. The enriched stuff I don't need right now. So steel and a bucket. And we made the personal chest last time as well. It's just, I don't remember how exactly we did it. Dynamic tanks, cool. Those things, as they say, are used for dynamic tanks. If you take a bunch of them in like uh, in various ways with valves and whatnot, you'll actually get different sized tanks that can hold whatever you want. Um, so there's that. The what am I missing? It's just the personal chest, right? Chemical oxidizer. Just missing a personal chest, which is 2 chests, a piece of glass, and a basic control circuit. 1, 2, 3, like so and so. Need a singular piece of glass. There's that. And I need the control circuits back out. And that should be the first machine done, right? 2 chests. Like so. Like so. And like so. Chemical oxidizer. Done. So basically, I'm going to need to grab a flux point, I think, and set it up with some wires elsewhere. I've got too much just going on all over the place right now. That's a flux plug, which I'm also going to need, so might as well take that with me. Do I have any extra wiring for power? Doesn't look like it. I'll make more of those too. Um, yeah, let me grab the stuff I need to make flux points. I'm assuming I still have some of the stuff in here, right? Nope, I guess I do not. We've seen flux points made plenty of times before. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I also went ahead and got everything together that I need to make the next one. So we have the electrolytic core. That's not even how you... Electrolytic. Electrolyte... Well, that shouldn't be a hard word to say. I just cannot say it. We have the core thing, and it gets put into the separator. Cool. Separator acquired. This thing doesn't look like it can actually be updated, or upgraded, rather. Cool. Anyways, I am also no longer... I am also no longer at the farm. I am now way off where I actually have our Certus quartz grabbing. Like, this is the same meteor where I have this all set up, so this thing's completely filled up. Really need to eventually set that thing up to pump straight into the computer system. But I have started work on this little segment where we are going to be building our nuclear reactor. Because apparently the nuclear reactor from Mechanism can actually have a meltdown and actually has nuclear fallout. So, yeah, that's a thing. We're not doing that at the farm. I have no idea how bad said nuclear fallout can actually get. So, not taking any chances. Anyways, the chemical oxidizer electrolytic, I think I said it right, separator. And then finally, we need to hook up the chemical infuser, which is going to be one steel casing, which have one of those. And then, let's see, we make those things like that again. We already made a couple of those already, so just 2 more. And that gets us our chemical infuser. Cool. That one, it can just go there. So we have these 3 machines all set up to go. Cool. I did not hold it in my inventory long enough for that to matter, or for that to... It's still not in my inventory long enough for that to pick up. There we go. Cool. We have all those. It's going to give us sulfur, fluorite, and uranium, stuff we're all going to need, and we do have most of already. So, sulfur trioxide into hydrofluoric acid. Let's see how this is done. Well, we aren't done with our sulfur trioxide yet. We will need some water vapor to process it further, though. We can use the rotary condensator to turn water into water vapor. Okay, more infusing. So, let's go back a step. Let's actually make the, no, let's make this stuff. Um, so, start by putting sulfur into the chemical oxidizer to make sulfur dioxide. Chemical oxidizer, you get a stack of sulfur. This becomes sulfur oxide, or sulfur dioxide. Cool. That's going to keep running. Now, sulfur dioxide, make some oxygen by processing water through the separator. Actually, let's switch where this one is. Let's put this one over here. This one's a bit rougher, I think, isn't it? Because that means I'm going to actually have to pump water in from somewheres. Actually, that's simple enough, I think. I do have... Let's see, where did I leave it? I made a thing from EvilCraft that's literally infinite water. Yep, this hydro pump. So let's take this with us. I don't feel like making a new one, and let's take that. Cool. I'm definitely going to need more fluid pipes than this. I should probably just grab all of them if I can. Now, that part of that system didn't even work anyways, so it's not that big a deal. Anyway, that's all coming with us. I should probably move a waystone closer over there and change where reactor is on the list. So cool. This thing is here. Let's just set it like this to make sure it's actually running and give it the water pump like so. I believe that will just work in just so. It probably won't even need to speed up. It's probably going to be fast enough. Anyways, water immediately is getting separated into hydrogen, which I have a feeling we're also going to need, and oxygen. Cool. Now, from here, in the chemical infuser, this thing right here, let's hook it up. One side, we are going to pump in... Let's see, I actually forgot to make the gas pipes, didn't I? So, at pipes, it's a Z. I keep forgetting that fact. Let's just save that recipe there. Yep. Gas pipes. So, that's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. So, oops. Do that instead. So, want to make sure that we're looking at sides. The gas pipe needs to be an output. Oh, wait, no, I can't set it to output because it can't eject anywhere. So that should go like that, and that should go like that. And this immediately got the hydrogen and not the oxygen, because of course it did. How do I do this? That needs to be, let's see, energy, items, chemicals. Yeah, that needs to be an output, but how do I make it? Yeah, we have hydrogen going in, and sulfur is just being stored there. Transporter. Oh, that's transporter side. Chemicals out there. Cool. How do I make sure that this specifically pumps out what I want it to, though? I'm not quite sure. So let's turn that off for now. Let's do that and that. Let's pump the hydrogen out of here if we can. Not transporter side. You need to be outputs. And this side now needs to be input, I guess. Oh, there I see it. Input 2. Really? Really? So, outputs on the right side, but it's only going to be output input 1. No, I want it to outputs. Really? No, you can go away. Items. Is there any way to dump what's in here? Doesn't really seem like it. If I do this, does that. Just get rid of the hydrogen. No, it doesn't. Now I'm just stuck with hydrogen in this thing that I apparently can't pump out. 1 second. There we go. I actually went ahead and made this item called a gauge dropper. So this thing was actually listed on a thing here. I literally went looking for this and I had to find the answer online. Anyways, this thing, pretty cheap. It's just some glass panes and a piece of osmium. It's basically a pipette. You you make it, you go in here, like if it was empty, I could just right click or click on that one and pick it up there. I did try making this chemical tank here. Out of curiosity, if I were to put the chemical tank I just made, I tried putting that into the spot. Um, yep, okay, so now I have a tank of hydrogen in there. Cool. Now, let's very specifically make sure that the right config for this one, chemicals, inputs, outputs on either side, that works. Um, actually, no. This one should be input 2. This one should be output at input 1, input 2. This left side should specifically, we're getting error messages now. Yeah, this left side should very specifically be sending out, that's fluids. Fluids I don't care about. I want chemicals. Left should be output 2. I want oxygen coming out of here, not hydrogen. So now, upon doing this, there we go. Now we are making sulfur trioxide. It's pretty slow, but as long as this thing has sulfur in it, which it's actually out of, just run as much sulfur through as we can. Anyways, sulfur trioxide is now being created. We can... Does this have an out and lab? Chemicals, the front, let's set that to output 1. Put this here. And then this thing is now being filled up with the extra hydrogen, so this thing shouldn't get filled up. And assuming this one's still running, this will always be going. Cool. Sulfur trioxide. Step 1, clear. Step 2. What's step 2? Now we're making hydrofluoric acid. Because of course we are. From here, we need the rotary condensator. Cool. And we're going to need the chemical dissolution chamber. Did I not... we made a different different item block thing called a chemical dissolution thing. It just wasn't this, I think. Oh, and we're making dirty slurries, like sulfuric acid mixed with whatever we're making to get a dirty slurry for that. This is actually part of the thing for ore duplication, if I remember correctly. You make sulfuric acid, and then it turns things into other things. So, let's see, and that just needed any version of it, or just the basic one. Cool. Glass, basic fluid tanks, basic chemical tanks. It's all a bunch of stuff that's relatively easy to make. I just need to, I just need to get all of it together while also dealing with an ever full inventory. Let's see, don't need that on me. Condensator, 2 glass, 2 things, an energy unit. Okay, so that's a bunch of stuff we've already made before. I'll go ahead and get like the basic materials together. Okay, so now I have everything I need for the condensator and for the dissolution chamber. There we go, both done. Now from here, that actually completed some quests. It's going to give us some fluorite. How do these work? We'll need water vapor to process it. To get water vapor, we can use the rotary condensator to turn water into water vapor. Or infusing, combine our water vapor with our sulfuric trioxide to make sulfuric acid. So what, we're going to have to make another one that's going to be used for making the sulfuric acid from that. I guess pump trioxide out from the front of this, because I tried putting something on the back and it didn't really want to work right. Um, so pump out the front of there. This one, I didn't actually plan this out very well. I just sort of started putting things down and ended up here. Um, where's my things? I'm going to need more energy pipes. I'm also going to need to start planning out energy pipes a little bit better because this really isn't going to work if it ends up looking like this and I keep needing to expand it after so many more machines. Okay, I think for now I have this in a working manner. So I went ahead and made a second infuser. Let's turn this a little thing right off for a moment. So the infuser goes here. The right side should be input 1. Or input 2, input 1. Out should be, front should be outputs. Output should go over here. This is the chemical dissolution chamber, which takes one fluid and one item to make something else. So from here, this is producing water vapor, which should be going out as an output off to the right, or off to the left rather. So this should get water vapor now, and this should be turned off entirely. This should then also be getting input on the side here. This is front output. Okay. So now input sulfur dioxide, or sulfur trioxide and water vapor over here and produce sulfuric acid. Cool. So we're making it somewheres. Let's restart this now so we can actually continue to produce this. Hydrogen is now full up as well. This one's out of... Can I do that and is it gonna mess with anything? Oxygen is now going down. Sides. Left should now be input and... Let's see. I completely messed this up now. So, left should be inputs now. Inputs, that should be outputs. Oh, wait, no, that's fluids. Fluid left inputs. Outputs right. Output 2. Hydrogen. Yeah, I want you to be outputting... What if I do that? That should now be inputting. Hydrogen is not going anywheres because I have not actually fixed that to go out anywheres. This can go here. And like so. Cool. Cool, it's running perfectly fine now. This is going to get to a mess. I should have hid this somewheres better. I didn't realize what it was going to start looking like. Anyways, from here, this should output sulfur... Let's see, sulfuric acid. Front should be output for chemicals. Right on this should be input for chemicals. Inputs, that's items config. I want chemicals. Right should be inputs. So this now has sulfuric acid in it. And then from here, we add fluorite. Fluorite, we have plenty of it elsewhere. Fluorite goes into here. And in turn, we now get hydrofluoric acid. Cool. I just need to make sure to, every once in a while, add in fluoride and add in sulfur. How am I going to automate that? I don't know yet. I'm sure there's a way, obviously. Probably if I change these out for universal and set up this huge convoluted wire system. Cool. Now we need to prepare the uranium. Enrichment chamber and a chemical oxidizer. We made both of those. We're going to need a different set of both of them, too. Unless I just go steal the enrichment chamber I have. I'm probably just going to go steal the enrichment chamber I have. Let's take a break from sulfur and acids, and let's focus on the radioactive part of fissile fuel. Let's see. What is radioactive, abundant, and used in AT0, so any version will work. Oh yeah, uranium. Mine uranium ore and use uranium ingots in the enrichment chamber to make yellow cake uranium. No, don't eat it. It isn't that type of cake. Bake it in the chemical oxidizer to make uranium oxide. Cool. So how do I make the oxidizer again? Because I'm going to need a duplicate. Tank. Going to need an extra personal chest. And I'm going to need an extra dynamic tank, which I do still have. So just another personal chest, which is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just do this, this, like so, and so. Just grab out the dynamic tank. So I just need to go get a chemical oxidizer and set them up with power and gas lines. So give me 1 second. Okay, I had to step away for a moment, but I believe I have everything set up correctly now. I just need to go get some uranium to test it out, which is... Let's see, where's my uranium essence? That's... Cyanites, it's... I know I obviously have some. There it is, that's uranium. 2, so this stuff gets turned into uranium, thank you very much. Yeah, 32 will be good enough to start. And how are the dragons doing? The game was running the whole time I was away. It looks like they're still tier 3. They're going to be that way for a while. Anyways, the reactor. I did set up the rest of these. So, that's part of this. This is the hydrofluoric acid, right? Yeah, hydrofluoric acid machine. Cool. That is ready to be pumped into another chemical infuser. I did look ahead slightly towards this one. So that will pipe hydrofluoric acid into this chemical infuser, which gets pumped in from the chemical oxidizer, which gets pumped in from the enrichment thing. So we enrich uranium, and that's going to turn it into enriched yellow uranium cakes. So yellow cake uranium. There we go. Cool. Another quest complete. Thanks for free uranium. All of that can just go in there. Next up, we go ahead and pump this uranium into this chemical oxidizer, which side config items, this item inputs, hold on. Item inputs. Did I forget to do this? I think I forgot to do. No, I didn't. Let's see. So output from there, this should be importing items from this side. Yeah, no chemicals, only importing items from that direction. And this, did I forget to set it? The back is energy output, but I need it to be item output. There we go. So yellow cake uranium is now getting imported out the back and becomes uranium oxide, which then needs to be pumped into the same machine as the hydrofluoric acid. So I believe this is already set up to go. Uranium oxide gets pumped into there. Hydrofluoric acid gets pumped in on the other side, assuming I set this up correctly with outputs. Chemicals. Everything's output right now. Why? The bottom. This thing is literally surrounded on all sides with this. Items. I set up items. That's why it's wrong. Chemicals. Back. Let's see, it says the top is... What if I break this real quick? Hold on. Don't need that hooked up right this second. So, best case scenario, this is the front, and I can just go to the left. Yep, the front, so the left is going to be output. Now, hydrofluoric acid and uranium oxide get pumped into here, and we get uranium hexafluoride. So, that's pretty good. That's our next step. From there, missile for fuel storage, okay. And then finally, we need this isotopic centrifuge, which are going to need a lead for. Do I have lead on me, or is that all at home? I think I left all the lead at home, but this is the last... I was about to say this is the last step towards the fuel for our reactor. No, this is one of the most important steps towards the fuel for our reactor, but it's not the last step towards fuel for our reactor. Lead acquired. We need to make this thing, which needs one more basic energy tank. Cool. And we have the isotopic centrifuge. Cool. So let's bring this thing back to the reactor. This thing is getting pumped up, puts right there. And then it needs to be turned around. So from here, grab one of these. I believe this should already be set up. That doesn't pump over here at all. That pumps in from there. Is that not set up correctly? The back should be ejecting into here. And then your one side, which is apparently the front, should be input, I think. Input. Yep, so now we have fissile fuel being produced. Cool, I hope this doesn't run into any problems just from running on its own. So we're producing fissile fuel. It actually gives us some free fissile fuel for free. That's what the word free means. And finally, fissile fuel storage and uses. We're just about to the point where we could start making it, and to the point where problems are going to start arising. Fission fuel assembly are what make up the storage for fissile fuel. They also help determine efficiency. Fissile fuel assemblies will need to be placed in the fission reactor in order to work. They can be stacked on top and next to each other, but each stack will need a control rod assembly on top of them. Control rod assembly don't change anything like efficiency, but the fission fuel assembly won't work if there isn't a control rod assembly above them within the fission reactor. Okay, so we're going to need these things. They get produced like that. I'm going to assume those are like storage things, and okay, yeah, these, much like how we need the fuel rods and control rods in the other ones, that is basically the same case here, where nothing, I believe, yep, the fuel assembly, the control rod, and then it gets covered up. Cool. And apparently this is a multi-block, and you can make it however you want, as long as it fits, like, this basic mold. So, and then we're basically going to fill in everything else with the reactor casing. Decreases energy production. A lead-infused steel casing used to create a fission reactor. Mostly heat-resistant, mostly radiation-resistant, and mostly safe. Cool. So from here on, this is all... these are pieces for the reactor. Everything up here is making the reactor. But how do we... yeah, this is fissile fuel. I don't see anything about actually importing this into the reactor right now, though, so I'm not sure. Why was I doing like a little auto crouch there for a moment? That was strange. Anyways, fissile fuel. Cool. Next up is making all the pieces and making the reactor. I have not made this big enough after seeing how long it took and how many machines we needed just to make the fuel for it. I'm also going to need to duplicate it, make more of these things probably, and just to clean this up and put it somewhere a bit cleaner looking. So I guess for now, I'm going to need to fix everything it has to do with making the reactor itself. But since we have a little bit of extra time and I know where I'm putting part of what I want to do, we might as well do it real quick. And that is creating the ultimate energy storage multi-block, which will max out at near infinity eventually. So, I don't know if we're ever going to make this thing. That's a whole lot of draconium. But we are going to make up to at least tier 4 right now, which will hold 9.8 billion RF. So basically, this stuff is actually pretty easy. We need an energy core, which I did actually save the recipe for. I don't need anything from that mod. I just need stuff from Draconium right now. So, energy core. 2 Wyvern energy cores and a Wyvern controller. So give me this stuff. I'm gonna need redstone, iron, all that good stuff. So we've made a bunch of this stuff already before. It's just remaking some stuff again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So energy core, Wyvern core, 4 Draconium cores, diamonds and gold. There's 6 Draconium cores, so I forgot diamonds and gold when I was doing this. Cool. I'm also going to need blocks of gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's blocks of redstone, not blocks of gold. So, 2 of these. 1, 2. Got it. Grab out a nether star. And that's this one done as well. Energy core. Got it. Now, this thing. This is basically the center of the multi-block. The energy core is one, if not the, greatest energy bank in all of Minecraft. And it all starts with a core. This is the middle and heart of the energy core multi-block. Make sure it's a bit off the ground. When you place it down, you can see it's gooey in the build, tear down, all that good stuff. Oh, you can automatically assemble it if you have everything we need. Cool. So, let's see. I'm just gonna grab some, like, cobble real quick. Let's see. Let's put it there. I think that's a good distance to start with. Core can go like so. Now, let's just see what its GUI looks like. Toggle build guide, stabilizer configuration invalid, tier up, cool, assemble core. We're not going to do assemble core right now. So this is the basic energy core. It requires 4. Yeah, it's going to require 4 blocks of, let's see. Where's tier 1? Let's look at tier 1 real quick. Yeah, it's going to need 4 of these energy core stabilizers to go up, and we're also going to need these energy pylons. So the energy core things, these things, 4 diamonds in a particle generator, that's the particle generator. It's super easy. I just need 4 of these things. I'm just going to do that real quick. Energy core stabilizers required. We have 4 of them. We won't need the advanced ones for quite a while, and by that, it's just basically you take 9 of them, you make a 3x3, and that's how you upgrade it past this stage. Like, it requires 36 of these on each side, or 9 of these on each side, 3x3. We're just making a bigger and bigger multi-block for storage, basically. So, this is tier 1. I believe I just go like this. Actually, hold on. Let's pick that back up. Let's see, where did it go? Where did it go? There it goes. So if I go like so, toggle build, assemble core. Oh, that's draconium blocks. That's not what it asked for though. What's tier 1 look like then? That's what it says tier 1 looks like. Tier 1 only needs the core and 4 stabilizers. Tier 2 needs 6 draconium ingot blocks, 1 on each side of the core, then obviously the 4 stabilizers. Okay, so it didn't actually make tier 2 right there then. It made a failed tier 2. Interesting. So I guess it will auto-build the draconium blocks, but I'll have to do the rest. So there's that. Activate gives us the tier 2 ore, a thing. And I can power it back down. Toggle build guide, tier up, assemble core, and it auto builds that. It's now this sort of configuration. Is that correct? I also didn't make the energy pylons yet. So there's that. Cool. There's that. Cool. I believe this is now tier 3. This is now tier 3. And each time it's going to give us free blocks and free redstone, so that's cool. I believe we're going to stop at tier 4, which I'll just have to pick up those energy pylon things, and it should auto-build for us still. I'll just need to grab out some redstone blocks as well. So, this is pretty cool. So how do we build the energy pylon things real quick? Those are also very simple. I just need to go in here instead to build them, because otherwise I don't have the stuff I need. So 1, 2, and then I just need to grab some emeralds real quick, which means glass can go away. Emeralds like so. And energy pylon. Oh, we only need to make 1 set of them. Cool. I guess this can just store some emeralds. So these energy pylons, how did these work again? How you get LP in and out of the energy core. Place them at least close to the core. 2 of them, 1 for input and 1 for output. You can use more. Then place glass over them and they will assemble automatically, targeting the closest energy core. At least close. What does that actually mean? Like, if I were to put them here, and it says cover them in glass, that makes me assume it means, like, fully? I don't know. Like, if I do... Okay, hold on. There's that. Is that actually considered a energy pylon, or do I actually have to... Okay, so that's apparently considered an energy pylon. Cool. Where's Yuki's? Not that I really need to pick up this glass, but might as well. So, if I do... Where's my... That's a flux plug. I would need a flux point for this, and I don't have an extra one right now. So, if I were to activate this right now, capacity 1.64 giga OP, it's not actually storing any. How do I... Okay, this is attached to it. How do I determine if that's input or output, though? Right-click the newly formed ball on top of the pylon to change whether they are input or output. I need an empty hand for this, I think. Oh, okay, I see. Inputs, and I guess this one can be output for right now. Let's see, that's attached there, like middle of these things. Do the exact same thing on this side, like that and like that. And just to make sure it is attached, and this one is going to be output. Got it. Did that immediately get detached as soon as I... Okay, no. Outputs, input. Got it. So if I put a flux point on this side, which I do have, or this is a flux plug rather, it is attached, so I think this will work. It is attached to our network. Do I have this stuff on me to go ahead and make a flux point, though? I forgot. Wait, no, there it is. For these, I do not have any flux dust on me. 1 second. Made it. Attached to network. And there we go. It's already storing up 20 million FE right now. It's just going to keep going. This thing... I'm curious, if I deactivate it so I can upgrade it, will it lose all of its current storage? There's like storage in the energy pylons right now. But, oh, it also just looks very cool. Is it constantly pumping energy into itself and then filling itself back up? Is it constantly going to be in flux because of that or no? Anyways, let's go ahead and deactivate this real quick. Will it blow up if it stores fully? I think the reactor from this mod can blow up if it stores too much power. I'm not sure about everything else though. Core structure invalid. Oh, I don't think the game likes this very much. I need to grab these real quick. Can if I were to put one of these, like, on the corner where it's not supposed to go, would I still be able to do this, right? Oh, error 404, core not found. Okay. So I do actually have to break into the core to find it. Actually, I'm going to have to do this. And then if I do build tier up, advanced stabilizers required. So let's say I do this, assemble core, missing required block of redstone. There's that, and there's that. Toggle build guide, assemble core. And there we go. One goes here, one goes here. Error 404 code not found. Yet I do like the error 404 codes. I do make those constantly in real life. And like so. This thing, did it lose any of its progress? No, it did not lose any of its storage. Cool. So now we have the mother of all batteries, basically. And this thing is just getting started. Like, we are currently storing not even close to this thing's full capabilities. It's going to only get bigger. And we are now working towards getting an actual nuclear reactor. So I think that's all a pretty good start at this point. Next time, in between episodes, I'll work on getting all the stuff we need to actually build the reactor that we're doing all this for. I just thought it would be cool to get this thing up and running now too. But anyways, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So without further ado, take care, everybody. I want to thank everyone one more time for watching, and a special thank you to the channel members. Yamato Tanagura, Goddess of the Star-Filled Void, and the Phantom Knight. Thank you three so much for the extra support. So for real now, take care, everybody.